Hi friends, it's Julie, and today I'm here with my top books of 2016. I was able to narrow my list down to 5 books, and they are ranked in order from least to most favorite, but I loved all of these so much, so if they sound even remotely interesting to you, I definitely recommend that you pick them up. So coming in at number 5 is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This book is set in the 1970s and is about this Chinese-American family. And at the very beginning of this book, we find out that their middle daughter, their favorite child, is dead. And so throughout this story, we're trying to figure out what happened to her, while at the same time, we're getting this really in-depth look at this family, the dynamics of this family, and how being a part of an interracial marriage really affected the parents, and how that in turn affected the way that they parented their children. This was such a emotionally heart-wrenching book. I grew so connected to this family over the course of it, and it's really short. It's under 300 pages, but it just packs such a punch. It is so beautifully written. I really have nothing bad to say about this book at all. It's really incredible. Then coming in at number 4 is The Indifferent Stars Above, the harrowing saga of a Donner Party bride. This is a nonfiction book that I read towards the beginning of the year with my book club, and it just completely blew me away. I have thought back to this book multiple times throughout the year. It was so well written, it was so captivating, and it inspired me to pick up more nonfiction. I had never read nonfiction before I picked up this book, and I was just so impressed. So throughout this book, we follow Sarah Graves, and we watch her family as they prepare for their journey to California. We follow her as they meet the Donner Party, and we continue on to follow her when she finally makes it to California. This book is really hard to read at times. It's pretty graphic. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. But at the same time, it is so well written. I really felt like I was right there with these people experiencing all of these terrible things. But at the same time, this is the ultimate story of survival. And I loved that at the end of this book, he gave us a glimpse into the life of the other survivors, what happened to them, how this journey affected them in the long term. I just cannot say enough great things about this book. Even if you don't read a lot of nonfiction, if this story sounds even remotely interesting to you, definitely give this book a try. I do not think that you will be disappointed. So coming in at number 3 is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. This is the second book in the Farseer trilogy, and this one is my favorite. So this is the story of Fitz, who is the bastard son of the king-in-waiting Prince Chivalry in the first book. And after Fitz is discovered, Chivalry steps down from his position, and Fitz is then raised by the royal stable master, until he becomes a little bit older and the king takes notice in him, and tells Fitz that if he will pledge his life to the kingdom, that he will take him in and provide for him, and would like for him to become the apprentice to the royal assassin. So Fitz takes on that role, and over the course of this trilogy, we watch him grow from being a young boy into a man. But what makes this series so special is the characters. Robin Hobb is such a character writer. There were times when the plot would slow down in some of the books, but I never lost interest because I loved these characters so much, and they are so well developed over the course of this trilogy. I have become such a big fan of Robin Hobb's writing, and I cannot wait to continue on with her other trilogies this year. And coming in at number 2 is probably no surprise at all, and that is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. You guys know that I am so in love with this book. It has become one of my favorites of all time. So this is the story of Daniel, who when he is a young boy, his father takes him to the cemetery of forgotten books and tells him to choose one book that he will protect for the rest of his life. And Daniel chooses the book, The Shadow of the Wind. And after he reads it, he falls in love with it and decides that he wants to read everything else that this author has ever wrote. So he goes searching for this author's other books, and he can't find them anywhere. They are all being destroyed very mysteriously. So Daniel tries to unravel that mystery and find out what is going on. This book seriously has something in it for everyone. I know that I've said that 100 times, but this has a coming of age story, a little bit of a romance, it has action, adventure, it's a little bit dark, has an amazing backdrop. This book is set in Barcelona, and I just love this so much. This is a book lover's book, and if you have not picked this up yet, you really should. It is just incredible. And finally, my number one book from this year is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Mistborn trilogy, and this one was my favorite. So this trilogy is set in this world called the Final Empire, and in the first book, there is this terrible ruler who has been in charge for over 1,000 years. He is called the Lord Ruler, and this group of thieves decide that they are going to get together and try and overthrow him. Other people have tried, and no one has ever succeeded. So that is the story that runs through the first book, but on top of that, we have this amazing magic system called allomancy that Sanderson has created, and it has to do with metals and alloys. So some people are able to ingest metals and use them for certain abilities. For example, one of the metals makes you stronger, one of the metals allows you to soothe and manipulate other people's emotions, one of the metals heightens all of your senses. Those are just some examples. There are other metals that are used in this magic system. Now, some people can't use any of the metals. Some people can only use one metal, and other people called Mistborn can use them all. So I know that that probably sounds pretty confusing, but the great thing about Sanderson's writing is how straightforward it is. He takes this complex magic system, this complex world, but makes it so easy to read and get into and understand. The characters are fantastic. I just love this series so much. It has become one of my favorite series of all time. I'm really looking forward to finishing it, but at the same time, I don't want to finish it because I don't want it to be over, but I will definitely be reading more Sanderson this year. So those are my favorite books of 2016. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know if you've read any of these books and if you liked them or even if you hated them. I would love to know either way. And you could also let me know what one of your favorite books from this year was. But thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope that we all have a fantastic reading year, and I will see you all again very soon. Happy reading. Bye.